and they're the number 1 seed. Joining us with more on that, of course, we welcome in 49er insider and analyst, host of the Quality Hang Pod. It's Rod Brooks. How are you today, Rod?
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
We're doing great. I'm just having a hard time processing how that game went down last night. What? Let's focus on the misery of the Rams. You know, that's always fun. What happened to the Rams?
I was saying this a little while ago. We did our 49ers Now show on YouTube. We did it at 2:00. And I find it funny. And maybe the Niners are just maybe they're star-crossed. Maybe it's their year that the Niners got help via bad Rams special teams. If that punt return doesn't happen and the missed field goal, if that doesn't happen, we're probably having a different conversation. Obviously, there were other factors that led to the Rams' demise, and give the Seahawks credit, give Sam Darnold credit. Because Sam Darnold's kind of been sticking up the joint over the last few games, and he was sticking up the joint last night until he wasn't sticking up the joint. But for the Niners, for years, to be victimized by their own doing, by special teams, bad special teams play. And for this year, the Niners to be one of, if not the best special teams unit in the game, and to have, like, you know how when you get out of traffic and you get to a road and it's wide open and you're like, that's the Niners playoff road right now, right?
Yeah,
it's just it's wide open. Now, granted, they've got to play better football, particularly in run defense, and I'm sure we'll get to that. But that number 1 seed throughout the playoffs, to and through the Super Bowl at Levi's, is right there in front of them. And part of the reason that it's there in front of them, because the Rams special teams allowed them to lose that game.
You know, RB, is funny because I was having this conversation with one of my boys a few weeks ago. And when you really sit down and look at the 49ers, the roster, the way the season is played out on paper, and, you know, just your mind keeps telling you, this is not a Super Bowl championship team. This is not a Super Bowl contending type team. But I keep getting reminded of the Packers with their run and, you know, the New York Giants. The years that you don't really expect your team to kind of contend and the football gods are kind of shining on the 49ers, could we really possibly right now at the end of December be talking about the 49ers having a Super Bowl team?
Welcome to the club, Jay. Welcome in.
Like, is that being believed? And I know what you're going to tell me. But honestly, within the locker room, Shanahan said it himself, RB. Like, this is a resetting year, and we're working with the youngsters defensively. I go back to the sit-down with Matt Mayoko early in the season. Does the team believe they can win a Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah. The team, they absolutely believe it. But that doesn't surprise me because of, A, the work that they've done, and also, B, the mind of an athlete. You know, you don't get to that point as an individual if you don't believe irrationally at times.
True.
And then you put a bunch of people who think irrationally together. and you also have anecdotal evidence to back up your somewhat irrational thinking. 10 wins, 4-1 in the division, 8-2 in the NFC. You know, you provide them that anecdotal evidence. I'm sure those guys probably think they can walk on water at this point. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a distinct possibility because of what the Niners have done. Because I think we all agree, looking at these playoff teams, still give the Rams credit. I still believe they're the most well-rounded team, I guess, with the exception of special teams in the NFC. But everybody's beatable. You look at the AFC. Yeah, man, the Broncos have a hell of a defense on a hell of a run. But I think you look at them as beatable. You look at the other teams in the AFC as beatable. New England, the Texans, Buffalo. So because everyone seems to be beatable, or everyone seems to have a flaw or flaws, not only are the Niners thinking that they can win the Super Bowl, but the Texans, I'm sure, are thinking they can win the Super Bowl. Here's the thing. The Niners have, without a doubt, a championship offense. The defense is the issue. And I'm going to continue to be the canary in the coal mine. We've been talking about this over the last few weeks. What's going to keep the Niners from actually winning a Super Bowl, unless they shore it up, is their run defense, mistakes on the back end as far as coverage busts. They had 3 of them against Tennessee. 2 of them led to touchdowns, and youthful indiscretions on the back end. They're going to have to find a way to fix that. And this is where not having Bosa, I mean, you talked about the pass rush and how that has been non-existent over these last few weeks. There are too many problems in my estimation. There are too many problems they have right now defensively that are going to keep them from getting to and winning a Super Bowl. Number one, to me, it's got to start with finding a run defense that you can rely on. And over the last couple of weeks, it hasn't been done. Tony Pollard ran for 7.5 yards last week. A better team, Niners, it's a much tougher game. Niners possibly win that game. But they didn't because they were playing the Tennessee Titans. Now you're seeing an Indianapolis Colts team that's better than the Titans, still have something on the line. Yeah, they have a flaw in terms of injuries at quarterback, and I'm sure we'll talk about Phillip Rivers. But if Jonathan Taylor, who has not had a good last 4 games, but he played KC, Houston, Jacksonville, and Seattle, was unable to get 100 yards in any of those games. If Jonathan Taylor sees this Niners run defense, he's thinking, oh, I can get back on that 100-yard streak, and I can help out Phillip Rivers, who it's all just 3-step drops and get it out, or 3-step drops, hitches, move up, and get it out. He's not throwing the ball downfield. So the Colts are going to have this thing in a phone booth. And if they can work in this phone booth with Jonathan Taylor as the tip of the spear, because the Niners' run defense is not where it needs to be, that can derail the best laid plans of Seattle did us a favor last night. If we win these next 3, we have home field advantage through the NFC.
Yeah, and as you said, Rod, the 49ers have the Colts coming up. They statistically have run the ball well this year, and the Bears also have run the ball well. So I want to ask you something that I ran by your cohort, the great Matt Mayoko, a few days ago. Is there any reason realistically to think that perhaps the 49ers between now and the end of this season, whenever that is, improve the run defense and or the pass rush? Is that even something now, or do we just have to say at this point, yeah, they are what they are?
Well, I think it's going to improve, because it has to improve, but it's going to improve because you're getting guys back. Now, be nice if you were getting Bosa back, and be nice if you were getting Fred Warner back, but that ain't happening. But you are going to get Tatum Bethune back. And the last time the Niners' run defense was really worth a damn, all the way back to the game against Atlanta. That was the first game without Fred Warner. It was Tatum Bethune's first start. He led the team in tackles. Bijan Robinson had only, 2.6, 2.7 yards per carry in that game. Niners been missing tackles. That's another thing. They missed 15 tackles against Cleveland, 11 tackles last week against the Titans. They only missed 8 tackles in that game against Atlanta. You get Tatum Bethune back. Looks like you're going to get Sam Okuwanu back. Looks like you're going to get Jordan Elliott back. He was very, very good. Michael Williams was in that game against Atlanta, and that's another guy the Niners miss, and a big reason why their run defense has, I think, fallen off a cliff. But you're getting Elliott back. You're getting Yetur Gross-Matos. Might even get Kendricks into the mix, his first go-around with the Niners. So I think the Niners' run defense is going to improve because of these guys you're getting back, and I think you're going to see the pass rush improve this week, not only because of the guys you're getting back, because of the guy that they're seeing. If they can make Phillip Rivers hold on to the ball for a little bit longer, he's not going to throw the ball downfield. All right. And he's trying to get it to his first read. He threw it to his first read, Rivers did, 85% of the time on his 27 dropbacks last week. Phillip Rivers ain't going to run around. Phillip Rivers can barely move laterally. I would expect for the Niners to get a couple of sacks, but then the calculus, the math changes, because now you're going to see Williams next week. And he's a guy who can move around in the pocket. So long-winded way, as per usual, to answer your question, I think we're going to see improvements this weekend, mainly because of the guys they're getting back.
Joined by Rod Brooks of NBC Sports Bay Area, 49ers analyst. Rod, Jawan Jennings has come on as late. Looks like Tricky Ricky P is trying to get ready to play for Monday. I'm a little skeptical that he'll be ready with the Brandon Ayuk situation looking like it's going to play out, and he's probably not going to be on this team next year. Does
ain't no
Jawan
problem
Jennings?
Well,
You never say never. Never say never.
I'm saying never. I'm 100% saying never. It's a wrap.
It's over. It's over, man. Even TJ Houshmandzadeh said, I don't even know what dude doing.
and TJ was his boy.
His coach.
So let me go ahead and do the Vince Carter and the dunk contest. It's over.
It's over. Does this mean now the window is kind of kicked open for Double J to be back for the 49ers? Are they going to make him a priority heading into next season from your standpoint?
I would think so. The question is, are there other teams who are going to get involved and drive up the price or meet his price? I forget what he wanted. I think he wanted, what was it, 15? But
Yep,
15.
I don't know. I think you're
report
spot
was
on. Yeah.
that he wanted $15, $17 million during training camp when he was holding out. And he wasn't worth $15, $17 million then to the Niners. I don't think he's worth $15, $17 million now. But I do think that there is a mutual appreciation between the two parties that will lead to the Niners being more willing now or whenever in the future than they were last year to bump him up into a significant raise. So I think the Niners would be willing. But is there another squad out there who sees Jawan Jennings, and not just as a pass catcher, but as a blocker in the run game, and also just a general irritant to the to the opposition?
Right.
Is there another team out there that sees that and go, no, to us that's worth $15 to $17 million? Possibly.
That should be his nickname, by the way. General Irritant. We salute you, General Irritant.
Hey, bro. I mean, I think of I think of Die Hard, which is a perfect movie. But by the way, it's not a Christmas movie. Okay, so if any of you out there think of Die Hard is a Christmas
might have
movie,
offended some people, right?
That's fine. I don't care. It's not a Christmas movie, but it is, I think, a perfect movie. But that line in Die Hard where the terrorists come back and they're pissed, and his wife, John McClane's wife, looks and goes, John is still alive. And how do you know he's still alive? Because only John could make somebody that upset. That's Jawan Jennings. Only Jawan Jennings makes people mad enough to punch him in the baby maker.
So real fast, Rod, if I'm hearing you correctly, moving forward, and I know we can't forecast, in the words of Dante Whitner, we can't forecast greatness, but if I'm hearing you correctly, this team only has one wide receiver heading into next year. And that's Tricky Ricky P.
Yeah. And I'm forgetting the guy.
Cowing or who you?
That doesn't play. I'm completely and totally forgetting his name. Let's see if I can find it here. It's killing me that I can't remember his name.
What are you talking about?
That he cannot get on the field, the wide receiver.
Not Cowing, Jordan Watkins?
Jordan Watkins.
Okay, yeah, I'm like,
yeah. But yeah, Pearsall, Jordan Watkins, and
you giving Cowing in there? You Trent Taylor? Who else is in there? Who else is in there?
No, that's it.
Braylon Edwards.
I mean, I
Junior,
Ashley Lilly. Oh, are we just naming random Niner wide receivers from way back in the day?
Man.
Yeah. But I mean, wide receiver is going to be a priority in the draft.
Gotcha.
There's no doubt about that.
You mentioned Christmas movies, kind of. Christmas question. Well, we'll get back to the 49ers. You got to spend. Santa's got to steal. Like everything's gonna be great for everybody, your whole family. However, you need to spend a year at the North Pole, and you're gonna have to listen to the same Christmas song for the whole year, just the same song over and over. But you can pick the song. You can pick the song, Rod. What's the one? If you had like one song,
it has to be a Christmas song.
Yes, and you can be as specific as you want. Maybe it's a certain rendition. But what's the one? Yeah, I might go that. Or is there any that you definitely would like? Definitely cross off the list right away.
Well, as a Christmas song curmudgeon, I'm not a big Christmas song guy by any stretch of the imagination.
Right. You might just tell Santa never mind then, right?
I do have a favorite Christmas song.
Okay.
This Christmas by Donny Hathaway. I can listen to that one. I can listen to that one over and over again. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. One more question about Ayuk, and forget everything that has happened. We don't know, and it's done now, as you say. But from a football standpoint, to your eye, does Brock miss him a little bit on the field? There's nothing you can do about it. I'm not saying anybody is. They need to bring him back, but does he miss him a little bit because they did have a pretty good chemistry?
Yeah. No, for sure. He misses him. But here's the trick. He doesn't miss him enough to where Brock Purdy is unable to function.
Right.
And that's a credit to Brock Purdy, and that's a credit to this Niner, the Niners pass catchers. And I'm using that term instead of wide receivers because you clearly have to throw in Christian McCaffrey's contribution and obviously George Kittle's contribution. George Kittle is their red zone threat at as a pass catcher. Ricky Pearsall's not at that point. Juwan Jennings, I guess you could throw him in. Not I guess you can throw him in there too, but really it's the tight end. It's George Kittle for my money. But yeah, sure he misses him because they had a relationship on the field. That's all I'm going to speak of. Off the field, I have no idea. I'm sure they did, but I don't know. But yeah, on the field, they definitely had something for sure. I mean, his production when Brock Purdy was there was top notch. But again, I think the credit to Brock Purdy and the Niners offensively as a whole is that not having Brandon Ayuk has not knocked them off their axis in any way, which is why I'm, when it's brought up and people want to talk about it, I get it because it's salacious because you're just like, what happened? And why is this guy not want to stay with the team and he's foregoing 20 plus 23, 24, $25 million a year? I get why people want to talk about it. But just from a football standpoint, he hasn't had anything to do with this year positively or negatively, Mm-hmm. So to me, it's just a non-story.
Rod, we'll stay real quick off the subject of the 49ers because, we like to spit game with you, brother.
Yeah.
We were talking about movies, and is there anything that you would want to see this year? And I said, absolutely not. There's really nothing coming out in the theaters that I'm even remotely closely interested in. Is there a go-to Christmas movie in the Brooks household? Is it Charlie Brown? Is it Home Alone? Is it Christmas Carol? What's the one that you can watch every Christmas with the Cranks? Or is it something that you watch all the time? Or are you like, nah, I'm checked out? You the Grinch?
I love A Christmas Story.
Okay.
I love it.
Oh. Okay.
And I love that they run it for 24 hours on TNT or TBS.
Forever.
Get it?
Right.
Yeah. And so it's like, I'll watch a bit, I'll turn it off, I'll go do something else, I'll watch something else or whatever, turn it back on, pick it back up to go. I love it. But that's not just one of my favorite. It's not only my favorite Christmas movie. It's one of my favorite movies. I just
really
as curmudgeonly as I can be about Christmas. Once I get to this point, because to me now is Christmas time.
Yes,
like now let's
agreed.
go. Let's go full bore into it. Doing that in early November, weird. But now that what's the date? The 19th? Is the date?
Yeah.
19th?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, December 19th. Yo, dog, it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
So now I can enjoy the trappings of Christmas. But when you're trying to do it on November 1st, I think that's psychopathic behavior.
Let me ask you about this. As we look at the path here ahead for the 49ers, isn't it amazing when you look back on that opening win and how significant that appears now? And I know we don't know what's going to happen, but right now it's like, oh my goodness, we had no idea that win was going to be that significant.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the 4-1 division record and the 8-2 record against NFC opponents, those are the load-bearing walls in this Niners playoff structure that they've built. If you don't have that, if they don't win in Seattle, this game coming up, it could still mean nothing if they lose to the Colts or the Bears, but projecting they win, week 18 wouldn't mean as much as it will possibly mean if you didn't have week 1. And here's the thing about it, that remember that touchdown that eventually won it to Jake Tonjes? That was a bad throw.
Yeah.
And it was a bad throw that was necessitated by, remember, Jake Moody had missed field goals. And so Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy, Kyle Shanahan was calling the game differently because he didn't want to put Jake Moody out there. And Brock Purdy was playing the game differently because they didn't want to kick a field goal. And he said after the game, I'm paraphrasing, but we wanted to score a touchdown. We did not want to kick a field goal, which is why Brock Purdy threw what was a bad pass. And Jake Tonjes had to play defense first before he caught the football. If that doesn't happen, we're not having the conversation we're having right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very true.
It was Tonjes because Kittle was hurt.
Yeah.
Kittle,
After the first quarter, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Pearsall, I think, hurt himself in that game too. Yeah.
Man, just rough out here. When it comes to the offensive line for the 49ers, they've kind of settled in for this season, and Dominique Puni is kind of just taken off as he looked at as kind of one of the stalwarts now this season, and he's 100% correctly back.
Yeah. His play that was well below what we saw from him last year.
Right.
When he was an all rookie, that had everything to do with his injury. And once you got to, again, go back to the Atlanta game. Remember, not only did the Niners stop the run, they ran the ball. The best they run the ball all season in the Atlanta game. That was when Dominique Puni was finally healthy. So now that Puni is healthy, you've gotten stabilization in the middle of that offensive line. Obviously, Trent Williams is going to walk right into the Hall of Fame. He's playing at a ridiculously high level still. Colt McKivitz out there on the right side. You're not talking much about him because he's doing his job for the most part, unless he's seeing Will Anderson Jr. But then again, Will Anderson Jr. is given, a lot of right tackles the business the way that he and the Texans are playing. But yeah, the Niners have finally gotten some stability on that offensive line in the middle, and that has had a ton to do with the success that Mac Jones had and the success that Brock Purdy is having not on his return for sure.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things, by the way, that made last night's game even a little sweeter for 49er fans, something that somebody who called in or texted the morning show today, I didn't realize this, but someone texted Carmichael Dave today and pointed this out. The 2-point conversion that won the game, you had a former 49er throwing the football to a former 49er to win that game. How about that?
Yeah. Eric Saubert, caught the pass. Well, kind of caught the pass.
Right. Right. What's the Costco? What's the latest on Costco out there, man? I love what Rob be tearing Costco a new one, man. Every time I see him on Twitter, I'm like, yeah, Rob, boy, he like me. He can't mess with the Costco.
Man, Costco, the problem with Costco is not Costco. The problem is me. Is that I want everything in that Costco.
Man.
But I like to play games with myself. Like, can I get out of this Costco spending less than $200?
It's tough.
Right. It's tough. And so I'm playing a game with myself, but I'm also setting, trying to set limitations on myself because, when left unchecked, I'll come out of that Costco with all sorts of everything from food to draws to white wall tires, man.
Hey, no discrimination against nothing. Huh?
Like, who needs a bunch of, shrimp cocktail, shrimp and cocktail sauce and a book,
right,
and a fun island for Tahoe.
And some of them are
contact lenses.
Some of that quality Kirkland brand too.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly. Golf balls. Yeah. Don't sleep on Kirkland golf balls. You can lose them just like you can lose the Titleist Pro V1.
Well, listen, I know everyone says this time of year, but we couldn't be more sincere. Thank you for everything you've done for us. This for our show has been a choppy year. Kyle Draper had to move on, and he's still on the show, and we understand and we love him, but he's not on the show every day. So we've had some things we've had to work through, and it's gone really well. And we appreciate everyone supporting us, and especially your support. So thank you, Rod, for everything you bring to the show. I know we're not done yet. At least I hope we're not. But Merry Christmas and thank you for everything.
Oh man, the merriest of Christmases to you guys. The same here. I enjoy hanging out with you guys, kicking it with you guys, and beyond doing this, this regularly scheduled stuff, man. Anytime you guys want me to come on, anytime you guys want to chop it up, you let me know. And Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you, to both of you guys and your families as well.
Thank you, Rod.
Appreciate you, brother.
We'll see you at Costco.
Right,
yeah.
Y'all be easy.
Yes. The great Rod Brooks. Yeah, when we come back. Malik.